First Lady Casey DeSantis is facing scrutiny amid allegations over the possible misuse of millions of dollars as she weighs a possible run for governor. Republicans in Florida's House of Representatives have been investigating whether current Governor Ron DeSantis' administration illegally used $10 million tied to a federal Medicaid settlement to help defeat a 2024 ballot measure legalizing recreational marijuana in the state. But last week, the main subcommittee leading that probe said it was ending its investigation. A draft of the settlement was obtained by the media, and it suggests the money was funneled through a charity connected to Casey DeSantis' organization. It's called Hope Florida Foundation, and it was eventually sent to groups involved in the campaign against the marijuana measure. Joining us now to help us understand what's happening here, national politics reporter for The Hill, Julia Manchester. And Julia, you've been following this. It's a big headline in Florida against the backdrop of the governor's race that you and I have talked about. What's going on here, and why is this controversy something both sides of the aisle are actually concerned over?
Right, so you actually see a bit of a Republican civil war, you could call it, brewing in Florida. Now, a lot of this started back in 2021 when Casey DeSantis, the First Lady of Florida, launched Hope Florida. Now, that is a welfare assistance program within the state, and eventually we saw this Hope Florida Foundation, which Casey DeSantis does not lead, but it was sort of created in the wake of the Hope Florida program. That was launched, but there are questions as to, how this money from a Medicaid settlement between the state government of Florida and Centene, a Medicaid provider, where that money essentially went. And this goes back to last year's down ballot measure amendment races in Florida. Now, there's questions as to, there was a $10 million that was allegedly given to the Hope Florida Foundation, and somehow that money then ended up in this campaign to fight against a ballot measure in Florida that would have legalized recreational marijuana, something a number of Republicans, including the DeSantises, were against. So the question is, was this money funneled through the Hope Florida Foundation to, this effort that was led in part, by DeSantis allies, including now Attorney General of Florida, James Uthmeier. So there's questions as to how they're moving forward, how this money was funneled there. And that's really the crux of this. It's very difficult, I think, to understand, but it's starting to get some national attention, Allie.
Yeah, but anytime you're starting off any kind of political campaign on your back foot, talking about something complicated that could smack of potential corruption, potential wrongdoing, and again, these are allegations, but that's a complicating factor to an already complicated Republican primary where Congressman Byron Donalds is definitely in running for governor, and Casey DeSantis is still potentially weighing her options. Talk about that.
Yeah, so this is what makes it, I think, interesting, like you said, from the national perspective. You have this primary, the Florida gubernatorial primary, which isn't taking place until August of 2026, so over a year out. But you have Congressman Byron Donalds already running, already